Tracy Martin.
Kia ora, Mr Chair. I'm just going to take a very short call on this bill because I just want to... Mr Sabin, is always exceptionally good to follow Mr Sabin because he provides so much material to work with. And Mr Sabin, and this is for the New Zealanders out there listening to this, those of you brave enough to have sat through the last bill, those of you that stayed in front of your televisions and in front of your wirelesses as you watched the National Party try to push this bill so far down this evening that they hoped you would fall asleep, that they hoped you wouldn't see what they intend to do with regard to the majority vote of this House. They tried to delay this bill and filibuster it so that you wouldn't hear the fact that they will not stand up for children at home. They will, I beg your pardon, Mr Speaker, but I know that you yourself sat through that last bill, waiting for this very important bill, important to so many New Zealanders, important to women and children and fathers and mothers, important to all those people that actually value children before the jobs, Mr Sabin said this should all be about. Mr Sabin, in his speech, epitomised the problem with the line of thinking of the National Party because he again referred to or took us back to a place of working, completely devaluing staying at home and looking after children. And Mr Sabin, really interestingly, listen to his words, New Zealand, go back and have a listen to his words. He said the government should not have to support the families. Now, Mr Sabin suggested that he had never been supported by his country or by his government. When Mr Sabin was little, when Mr Sabin was a baby at home, his mother was supported by this country through a universal family benefit. By a universal family benefit, it was removed by the national government in the 1990s. Mr Sabin doesn't know because Mr Sabin never asked his mother how her country had supported him and his family. Mr Sabin doesn't know because Mr Sabin never studies anything that he's supposed to get up and speak on. He just pushes the line that his whips tell him. So in New Zealand, what you're going to find here is that this government will attempt to force this bill past the end of this evening, hoping that you will forget about it, hoping that you will go to sleep. And no wonder a million of you, a million New Zealanders, decided not to engage in democracy when you have the arrogance of a government like this, who votes down on a financial veto what you, the people, have said you wish. So, I apologise again, Mr Chair. This bill should go through this House. It will only be in the undemocratic way that the national government responds to this bill that it will be stalled. And the New Zealand public will know about it. The New Zealand public at this upcoming election will hear it. And that's why, New Zealand, they're frightened that you're watching the television.
Mr. Chair. I call the Honourable Member Melissa Lee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Annyeonghaseyo, Mr. Chair.